Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new. If you are new here, I'm Nikki. I make lifestyle, health, wellness, fashion, beauty, all kinds of videos. So if you end up enjoying this video, please subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and stick around. If you guys have been following my channel for a little while, you would have probably seen the video I made called 10 Things I Wish I Knew Before Starting My Fitness Journey. Since I have made that video, I kind of lost touch with my passion for health and fitness because it put me into more of a restrictive place, and it wasn't like the health aspect wasn't necessarily there, and I felt like I was doing it for the wrong reasons. So I really took a step back, and these last 6 months I've really taken time to figure out what it is about health and fitness that makes me happy and what my new goals are. And I am back with another 10 things video, but this is 10 things that in this new fitness journey I will not be doing. These are things that I have already started not doing, actively not doing, and I sat down and I wrote this list pretty effortlessly this morning. Like, it took me a couple minutes and I was just like, oh, this is what I haven't been doing. So this just came really natural to me, and I wanted to make this video because if I could go back and tell myself things that are just not worth it in the long run, I wish I would have listened to some people who would have told me this before, and I was just very stubborn. I was like, no, I'm gonna do it this way, it'll be quicker, it'll be easier. What I failed to realize is that it would not be sustainable, and I would be back in this yo-yo cycle even when I was convincing myself that I was doing everything the right way. The first thing that I will not be doing is compromising my health or my hormones. And this goes for both mental and physical health, or in order to achieve some sort of aesthetic goals. I was watching a YouTube video, and the thing that she said really resonated with me, and it was, if you put your health first, the aesthetics will follow. So prioritizing your health is going to probably end up leading you to where you want to be aesthetically regardless. And I've taken so much time to get my hormones to a really healthy place, feel really good in terms of my physical health, my mental well-being. My mental state is in such a different place than when I first started my journey, and I'll get into kind of why. That has a lot to do with the goals and the outcomes that I'm looking for this time around, but it's taken work. It's taken me months and months and months of putting health and fitness and this whole lifestyle kind of on the back burner, and trying to, yeah, of course, still eat healthy, still exercise, but really delve deep into why I want to do this, and why I want to eat healthy, and why I want to have this healthy and fit lifestyle. And now I'm so in tune with how I feel on the inside, and when I'm feeling my best versus when I'm not. Also, if you guys have followed me along with my whole menstrual journey, I've had my period for now 6 consecutive months naturally, and I do not want to do anything that will upset my body, upset my system, and jeopardize that, because I remember how it felt to not have that. Nothing is worth that. So we are 100% putting hormonal and physical and mental health at the forefront of this journey, whereas before it was very much an aesthetic thing. Like, I was kidding myself. I was telling everyone and myself that, like, oh no, I just want to feel good. No, you wanted to look a certain way, and sure, we all want to look a certain way, but that shouldn't come first. You know, that can come later, but that shouldn't be the number one thing that you're worried about. The second thing that I will not be doing is counting, tracking, measuring, doing any of the above. If you feel like you've ever struggled with some sort of disordered eating patterns, and you know yourself, and you can just kind of know when you're getting into a place that doesn't suit you, delete MyFitnessPal, just get rid of it. Honestly, get rid of it. I just don't see a need for it at this point. Unfortunately, once you've already tracked, like, I'm gonna be blatant with you guys and honest, you kind of know the calories, carbs, and other various macronutrients that are in different foods. You can't unlearn that information. Like, I'm gonna be honest. However, I'm trying to see it in a positive way, whereas now I'm like, okay, I have this database of information up here. I'm going to use that to build the healthiest, most balanced meals with all of the nutrients in it. So I'm trying to put a positive spin on anything that before could be seemingly negative and could cause me to feel restricted in a way. I'm like, no. So I know this one is high in carbs, and this one has a lot of protein, this one has healthy fats in it, so I'm going to combine them all together to make this really awesome, delicious meal. You just won't be able to sustain tracking and counting for the rest of your life. Like, yeah, it's good to, like, I guess if it gives you some knowledge and you're in a healthy place with it, sure, for a little bit, but then you still have to find a way out. And at this point, I'm not in a point where I need to be tracking anything, so why bother? And that kind of leads me into the next one, which is I won't be looking for any specific numeric or like any specific results in general. Like, I don't necessarily want to lose a certain amount of pounds. I don't want my measurements to be a certain way. I'm not looking for a specific outcome. I just know when I feel my best. I was trying to explain this to my trainer because we used to work on a more of a goal-based program where like she would ask me like, okay, what are our goals? We would sit down, we would do it like that. And that worked for me at that time. However, now I'm like, girl, I don't know. I just like, there was this feeling that I felt back in like August and I felt really good. And like, I don't know, like I can't even visibly, like I look at those photos and I'm like, I don't know what exactly was different, but I felt different. Like there's just a point in my body where I feel really good. And I remember the habits and the things that I was implementing at a certain point when I felt really good and I was in a really good routine. And I was like, okay, I kind of want to feel, I just want to feel that way. And so when people say like, I used to be like, oh, it's not a feeling, it is a look, like it's a number. No, it's not. I really, because I don't know. I have no clue. I couldn't tell you what the number or the whatever, like I'm happy the way that I am, but I know that like when I felt my best, inside and out, was at a certain point when I was doing specific things that made me feel that way. If that makes sense. Whatever happens. I might gain weight because I put on muscle. Like, we really don't know. You know, my measurements might go up, my booty measurement might go up, or like whatever. Like, we will see where it goes, but it's like as long as I feel good in that moment, then it really doesn't matter. The fourth thing is following a strict workout routine. I used to have this no days off mentality, and what we're not doing this time around is sacrificing sleep, meals, quality time with friends and family for workouts. It's just the stress that you're putting on your body and your mind when you are putting so much emphasis on the fact that you have to go work out. It is just not worth it. You don't have to go work out. Nothing's gonna happen if you don't go work out right now every single day. Like, following a strict workout routine, just for me, it doesn't work. I like to have like a nice plan that's like a loose plan, so that when I get to the gym, I know, okay, well, last time I did full body, so today I can do arms, you know? But it's not something where like if I miss that day, then my whole life is shattered. Like, it's not a big deal. I try to be active every day as much as I possibly can be. By that I mean like I just like to walk and get my steps in. Like, I have a dog, you know, things like that that are like actually good for your health, versus being like, oh my god, I have to do this every single day. I have to like stick to the strict workout routine. I just feel like, come on, like we're past that. You know what I mean? Like, if it actually would serve me more to get a few extra hours of sleep in the morning, I am not gonna go wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and go do a workout when I went to bed at like midnight. That's actually gonna do the opposite of what you want. Like, it will probably increase my hunger, it'll make me crankier, it's not gonna improve my mood, and it's gonna spike my cortisol, and it's just gonna be a whole big mess when I could have just slept in, made a nice breakfast, and gone on with my day. Number 5 is following any kind of diet, giving myself any food restrictions, labeling foods good or bad, cutting out any food groups. Like, we're just not doing it. We're not doing it. I remember at the beginning of my kind of recovery from binging, I gave myself unconditional permission to eat whatever I wanted. Like, whatever food groups you want, whatever kinds of food you want, you can eat it whenever. Like, I could have a burger at 9 o'clock in the morning if I really wanted to. And I think that that really helped me not want that food as much. Like, I just don't care anymore, whereas before I had this crazy fixation on those foods that you deem prohibited and that you deem unhealthy because you want it because you can't have it. So we're not doing that. I used to think that I had to cut out dairy and gluten because people that I followed cut out dairy and gluten. I don't have a lactose issue and I don't have a gluten intolerance. So why would I cut out dairy and gluten? I buy high quality dairy, it's organic, it tastes good. I had a Greek yogurt bowl this morning, it was delicious. Like, I eat gluten, it doesn't affect me like that. So like, just because somebody deems something unhealthy or because they have an intolerance to it or an actual allergy or it causes them IBS symptoms, like, that doesn't mean, if it doesn't do that for you, you don't need to cut those things out. I think in terms of like keeping a really healthy mindset around it, I have not restricted any food groups. I've allowed myself to eat everything that I want, but in turn it's kind of made me crave healthier foods. And I've also been obsessed with making fun creative recipes and make healthy meals. So for me, it's not something that's like a chore. It doesn't feel like, oh, I have to eat healthy because I can't eat this and that. Everything that I'm eating, I'm making sure that I'm genuinely enjoying as well. The next one is cutting out alcohol entirely. Now this one comes with a few caveats, but I want to say that every single time that I found myself wanting to embark on a fitness journey, I would cut out alcohol. And it's very common, a lot of people do it. I would either cut out alcohol, or I would make alcohol so forbidden, I would paint it out so negatively in my head that I would be like, okay, but when I do drink, I've got to go balls to the wall, I've got to really drink, because that's going to be the only time this month or the only time these next 2 weeks that I'm allowed to drink. So when I did drink, I developed this really unhealthy relationship with alcohol. Now, instead of doing dry January, this is something that I did for myself. I did damp January. I just decided that, like, if I feel like having a cocktail, if I want a sangria at lunch, or I want a few glasses of wine with some girlfriends, I can have it. But instead of demonizing a glass of wine or a cute cocktail or something, like, I just allowed myself to have that versus being like, that's extra calories, you know, you shouldn't have that unless you're like going out, that's super unhealthy, that's so bad for you, like that glass of wine, like you shouldn't have that. I instead was like, you know what, if you want it, have it. And it's actually made me not want to drink at all, which is crazy how this works. I applied the same method that I did with food to alcohol and to like going out and partying, but in saying that, it's made me not really want to do it at all. And when I have gone out, like I went out to a friend's birthday last week and I had 3 glasses of wine. I woke up extremely hungover. I felt like crap. I was so cranky. I cried that morning. I felt my stomach was out like this, like a rock. It was so bloated. I just felt horrible. I was nauseous, but I was also hungry at the same time. Had these crazy hunger spikes and like my exhaustion was just through the roof. It was just bad, like, guys. Like, I haven't felt that level of hungover unless I was like 10 tequila shots deep. Like, it's crazy how your body adjusts, but my point here is that it made me feel like, oh geez, like I've been so used to lately feeling so good, feeling like 10 out of 10 on like a health scale. Overall, just genuinely, like I say this from the bottom of my heart, like feeling happy. And that day made me feel really not great, and it kind of just made me not want to do it as much. But that's not to say that I'm not going to. I'm not saying, okay, well, you felt like crap that day, so no more drinking. Like, if I want to have, you know, a cute cocktail with friends at dinner or something, like, I can. I'm just way more mindful of like how it makes me feel because now I'm so used to feeling good. So I think it's a different thing. Like, now it comes from a place of self-care and self-love and wanting to keep myself in this place of happiness and good mental and physical health, versus before it was me worrying about like how many calories are in this cocktail, or like this is so unhealthy for me, versus now I'm like, whatever, you know, like alcohol is objectively unhealthy, but it's life, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna do something that's gonna make me feel restricted in my day-to-day life, but I am finding out more things about what I truly enjoy, what makes me happy, and what is beneficial to my mental and physical health at the moment. But again, we also need to realize we go through seasons of life. So sometimes you are in a phase, like during the summer, everybody wants to go out and do things and hang with their friends. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people. There's a lot more like activities like that. Right now it's just a time where it feels a little bit more dull, and you know, you really don't want to, and you kind of want to hibernate, and like, that's normal, and it's okay to do both. Like, you don't have to commit to one way or the other and have it be all black and white. You can do whatever you want. You can change your mind tomorrow. You know what I mean? Tomorrow I might say, oh no, you know, I want to go for a burger and have a beer with some friends. Like, you can do that and then still wake up the next day and have a green juice and eat your yogurt bowl. Like, it doesn't have to be one way or the other, and it doesn't have to be all the time. The next one is feeling pressured to do anything or look for results quickly. I'm very lucky right now that I am in a place with my mental and my physical where I feel comfortable. Mentally, I'm really happy. I'm in the best place that I've been in a really long time. Like, I'm genuinely good. Knock on wood. Physically, I'm really comfortable. I'm really happy. I've really learned to love my body and accept it for what it is. And are there things that I would like to change? Sure, but that's kind of human nature. Like, we're always looking for something that we can change, and I've learned to realize that and call myself out on it and be like, okay dude, like, a year ago, think back to where you were and what you were thinking about and how you would have wanted to be where you're at now, you know, and like, or 2 years ago, whatever. So I've learned to kind of just be real with myself and accept myself the way that I am and know that my hips are never going to be tiny or blah, 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 blah. So I'm not looking for anything crazy in terms of like results. I'm not going to be putting a time constraint on this because there's no time constraint because this is life. The journey is continuous. Like you're still on the journey for the rest of your life, but this is the rest of my life. Like this is me telling you guys what I'm not going to be doing for the rest of my life. There's no like end goal because you're constantly evolving and changing and your goals are constantly changing. So my goal is that I know that I'm going to be in a place where I feel and look my best, and I know that I'm gonna know when I'm there. You know what I mean? I feel great right now. I feel like 9 out of 10. I know when I am 10 out of 10, and I know that when I get there, I'll know that. Like, take a shot for every time I say I know. But seriously, so that's why I'm not, it just doesn't make sense to try to do anything quickly, because just as quick as you achieve those results, that is how quickly they will go away. The next one is putting my mental health on the back burner. That's kind of what I did before. I had this really like grind, no days off, like let's do this mentality when it came to work, when it came to fitness, when it came to everything. And I would put other people's needs before mine, and I would put my fitness journey before my mental health, and I would just say that, no, I'm just really mentally strong. Like, I got this. It's not a competition. Like, you're fighting against yourself here. And like I said with the whole sleep thing, like, I'm not gonna miss out on sleep or a nice relaxing night with my boyfriend or a really memorable fun time with friends or even a self-care night or reading my book or journaling because I need to like hurry up and go work out and do whatever. Like, we're not doing that, you know? It's not about that anymore. I just feel like I'm so past that in terms of like maturity. Like, it seems silly to me. It comes off very juvenile, you know? Like, we don't need to be doing that. Like, it's just really dramatic, you know? So we're gonna be putting our mental health first because it's pretty important. The next thing is saying no to trips, to parties, to social events. I used to, out of fear of straying outside of my lifestyle, I used to say no to things, approach them with caution, or prepare mentally for what I'm about to do, and it would just cause this really unhealthy relationship with going out, with going to events, various social interactions. I would end up, you know, freaking myself out and then going overboard at these like events. Versus now I kind of don't think about it. Like I said, it's a lifestyle, it's a long haul type of thing, so that's your lifestyle. Like, I live in Los Angeles, I'm a model and an influencer, I go to events, I have friends, I do things. Like, it's your life. Your life is never gonna stop. You're gonna have weddings, you're gonna have holidays, you're gonna have family parties, you're gonna have gatherings with your friends, you're gonna have birthdays. Like, when is it gonna stop? You know what I mean? It's never gonna stop. You just need to find a way that you can enjoy those things and feel good still. Like, there's no reason to feel like you have to go all or nothing, or you have to stop doing things altogether if you want to be healthy. That is not true. Some of the most healthy and fit people that I've ever seen in my life that have been that way without fluctuating, I've never seen them restrict. These are the kinds of people that are at all the gatherings, all the parties, having a great time and doing everything in moderation because they don't feel like they need to go overboard because they give themselves permission to do so. So that's always been the goal, and I finally feel like I'm in a place where I can do so, and it feels really good. The last thing that I won't be doing in my new lifestyle is saying yes to things out of guilt. I used to feel pressured when someone asked me to do something to do it. Like I said, with this getting in tune with my body and finding out what serves me and what doesn't, and what makes me feel good right now and what doesn't, and what phase of my life I'm in right now, there's a lot of things where like I used to go with my friends to do things and they're just not making me happy right now. And at first it kind of was like a whoa, like what am I supposed to do then? Like, are my friends gonna get mad at me? Like, you know, whatever. I've learned to become a yes girl and also become a no girl. Like, don't guilt trip yourself into doing either or. You don't have to go if you really don't want to. Your friends will understand if they're your real friends. Like, nobody cares. Everyone's always like, yeah, cool dude, no worries. Or if you really do want to go, but you're telling yourself, well, you know, it's really, there's gonna be snacks there, or like, there's gonna be alcohol, like, what am I gonna do? Just go, dude, it's gonna be fine. Like, either way, it's gonna be fine. So live your life, but also put yourself first. And realize that for the most part, other people are putting themselves first as well. And this was a hard pill for me to swallow, because I thought that everyone was sacrificing their own mental well-being for the happiness of those around them. And I had to quickly learn that that unfortunately is not the case. Many, many, many people put themselves first. And I was like, wait, am I the only bozo that's like saying yes to every social commitment because I feel bad now? Like, I went from being like, no, I'm not seeing anyone, I'm healthy. And then I went to the complete opposite end where I was like, well, everybody wants to hang out with me, so I have to say yes to all of the things because, oh no, like, what if I don't? You don't. You really don't. It's gonna be okay. And it has made me, that habit has made me so much happier recently than I've been in a long time. And it's not because of what I'm doing or not doing. It's about the fact that I'm choosing myself. And if in the moment I choose to do that thing, it's because I really want to. And it's made me a lot more intentional with what I choose to do and the way that I choose to spend my time. And that feels huge. That feels so empowering. So anyways, I love you guys all so much. Please let me know if you have any questions. Leave any video requests down below. I am so grateful if you sat through this entire video. Please, again, subscribe, comment down below, and let me know what you guys think of this video. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.